This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Bruchim Abayim. We're going to speak for a few minutes about the Chodesh Shevat Haba Aleinu L'Tova, and then we're going to continue in the Siman Dalet and Dinei Netilas Yadayim. Now, we think about Chodesh Shevat, we always think about Tu B'Shvat. But one of the most important events in the entire Chumash happened on Rosh Chodesh Shevat. And that is, Sefer Devarim begins, Vayihi, Be'ashtei Asar Chodesh, Be'echad B'Chodesh, Hayel Moshe, Be'er Es HaTorah Hazois Leimar. Moshe began to teach the Torah to Klal Yisrael, Rosh Chodesh Shevat. So that's very significant. Why would Moshe select Rosh Chodesh Shevat to begin teaching the Torah to Klal Yisrael? Interesting that Moshe would pick Rosh Chodesh Shevat. I mean, why not Tu B'Shvat? So in the past we explained that Beis Shammai, he doesn't hold of Tu B'Shvat, he holds of Rosh Chodesh Shevat. Is Moshe Shammai or is Moshe Hillel? Hillel, Hashem tells Moshe, Hu, Yeh, Lecha, Lepeh, Hey, Yud, Lamed, Lamed. Aaron is Hillel. Aaron is Oyev Shalom v'Roidev Shalom. Moshe Rabbeinu is Loy, Ish, Devarim, Anoichi, Seifei Tevis, Shammai. Moshe was Shammai. Aaron was Hillel. So Moshe goes like Beis Shammai, Rosh Chodesh Shevat, especially Rabbi Chanan brings down, and all the Mekubalim bring down, L'asad Lavid, Allah is going to be like Shammai. So Moshe taught the Torah, L'shitasai, Rosh Chodesh Shevat. That's an old idea, but I'm just reminding you before we go on to the new ideas of Chodesh Shevat. The Bnei Yissaschar, Kedarkar BaKodesh, talks about the significance of the month of Shvat, and he brings from the Sefer Yetzirah, Himlech Ois Tzadi Bilaita. So the letter that's associated with Chodesh Shevat is the letter Tzadik, and he tied a keser, Vitzar B'ay Deli Ba'olam. So says the Bnei Yissaschar, the Toichniim Harishonim say that we know the mazel of Shvat is what? Deli. Deli, what's a deli? A bucket. Even though ein mazel Yisrael. But if we were to say Klal Yisrael had a mazel, the mazel of Klal Yisrael is deli. Even though the Gemara in Shabbos on Kuf Nun Vav says ein mazel Yisrael, that's only, we could destroy the mazel. We're not bound by the mazel. We could guide the mazel. But be'etzem, b'toilada, we have a mazel. What's the mazel? Mazel deli. How do we understand that? Why is the mazel of Klal Yisrael mazel deli? What's the function of a deli? First, the function of a deli is to fill up water. The purpose of Klal Yisrael is ein mayim el Torah. And then in that case, the mazel of Klal Yisrael, which is a deli, is a mishamesh to the Torah, is an eved to the Torah. Listen carefully. If the mazel of Klal Yisrael is a deli, and the purpose of a deli is to service water, that means the mazel of Klal Yisrael is an eved to the Torah, which means we could be mahapich the mazel al yedei the Torah. Wherever, if we subjugate ourselves to the Torah, we're meshabed our mazel. So that's the idea. The mazel of Klal Yisrael is deli. It therefore services the Torah, which means that a Jew who's involved in Limud HaTorah is going to excel in this world. A Jew who's not involved regularly in a significant fashion in Limud HaTorah has no mazel, can't even exist. That's why Klal Yisrael, we find sometimes in history, we're usually flying high. The Chavos HaVavos even writes, economically, no matter what era we're in, Klal Yisrael was always the most successful economically. On the other hand, there are times in our history where basically we're b'diyuta tachtoina, and it's almost like we can't even exist. We're almost destroyed. Why is that? Dependent on one thing. Ein mazel Yisrael. We have no mazel. So physically we can't exist. The mazel is the deli. So if it's servicing the Torah, we're successful. If it's not, we have no metzias. So it comes out, who is the first Eved Neman of Klal Yisrael? Avram Avinu, the Eved Hashem. He's Rosh Yichuseinu. Hashem lifted him above the Mazalos. His Eved, Zakan Beisai. What do we darshan about Eliezer? Damesek doile umashke mitayras rabbi la'acherim. Deli. The mazel of Klal Yisrael is the deli, an eved. Therefore, this eved Neman Eliezer, when Avram sent him to find a sheikh for Yitzchak, that from this zivug would create the ummah of Klal Yisrael, and the mazel of this ummah is deli, then this eved Eliezer, who is doile umashke mitaras rabbi, the siman that he used, that the woman would be able to produce this ummah, he ha'isha shehechiach Hashem leven adoini. What did he say? V'hayahanara she'omer leha hatino chadich. If she's going to say, I will draw with my deli for you, that's the siman, she will produce Klal Yisrael. So says the Bnei Yissaschar, let's take it one step further. Therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu, in the beginning of this month, that the mazel of the month is deli, Hayel Moshe Beyer as HaTorah Hazois Lemar when Ba'ashtei Asar Chodesh Be'echad LaChodesh. Why? Because he's teaching that in the mazel, the month of the mazel of Deli, Klal Yisrael who has no mazel. Why do we have no mazel? It's only Beyer as HaTorah Hazois Lemar. Says Bnei Yissaschar, one more step. Who knew the mazel is better than anyone? Yisrael. Yisrael, he says, Ata Yadati, Ki Gadol Hashem Mekalim. He tried it all out. He knew all of this stuff. Therefore, Yisrael, who was a great chacham, when his daughter said to him, Ish Mitzri Hitzilanu, Vigam Doloi Dololanu. Yisrael said, that's the man connected to Deli. The man who knows Ein Mazel Yisrael, and it's dependent on the Torah. Therefore, Yisrael said, Lama Azavten Es Ha'ish. Ha'ish is Gematria 311, Shvat. Why do you forsake Chodesh Shvat? Why do you forsake the man? The man is connected to the Deli. You can't forsake Chodesh Shvat. So Chodesh Shvat is the month of Hishtabdus to the Torah. So on that note, the Munkatcher, who is a descendant of Bnei Yissaschar, continues in his Sefer Shar Yissaschar the connection between the month of Shvat and the Mazel Deli. He says there's a pasuk in Tehillim in Parak Kuf Gimel, Yoidia Derachav L'Moshe. Remember this parak in Tehillim, Kuf Gimel? Who remembers? Raise your hand if you remember. We say what? Who? Yoidia Derachav L'Moshe. See if it's there. Before you remember, it has to be there. Yoidia Derachav L'Moshe. Yeah, it's there. Yoidia Derachav L'Moshe is Rashi Tevois what? Yud, Dalid, Lamed, Deli. And he brings further, says the Shar Yissaschar. We go to Kapitel Memhei, and we'll end with this. If in the month of Shvat, Moshe Rabbeinu began to teach the Torah, and he began to be mevayer the Torah, b'shivim lashain, rachash libi davar toiv. Moshe Rabbeinu had a very good idea. Let's see. Rachash libi davar toiv. You know what the idea is? Rachash Rosh Chodesh Shvat. What was the good idea? Oimer ani maseh lamelech l'shoini eit sofer mahir. I'm going to translate the Torah into many languages. Hutzak chein b'sifsoisecha. Pour out grace through my lips. Moshe Rabbeinu began to teach this Torah in 70 languages. When? Listen carefully. In what month? Kisacha Elokim Olam V'ad Shevet Mishar Shevet Malchusecha Shevat. This capital has Shevat 2 times. Shevet Mishar. And when? Rachash Rosh Chodesh Shvat. So tomorrow, right, is Rosh Chodesh Shvat. So it's a time for Chizuk and Limud HaTorah, and to remember to make sure to be meshabed yourself to the Torah through increased hasmada and increased devekos, and in that schus it should be a chodesh tov levracha.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.